Thank you, Clayton. So, how many of you here are business owners? Let me see your hands. How many of you would like to see your business keep going without you? Let me see your hands if you'd like that to happen. All right? So we're talking about systematizing your business. And I found 9 keys to ensuring your business continues to succeed without you. Does that sound like something you'd like to learn about, the 9 keys to make sure that that happens? Let me see your hand.
As long as I can still make a profit from it.
Absolutely, yes. The number one key that you have to have in order for your business to succeed without you, and I was telling the comedian that I own a company that I spend about 1 hour a week, and we have about 10 employees in that company. So it can be done. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of systematizing your business, but it can be done. The number one key to systematizing your business is to build a solid foundation. And what do I mean by building a solid foundation? It means to, and I believe I talk a lot on leadership, and leadership, in my opinion, is to clearly communicate your vision, your mission, and your purpose. I call that the MVP, mission, vision, and purpose. First of all, if you want to have a company that succeeds without you, you have to clearly outline those 3 things: vision, mission, and purpose. You have to build that foundation. Don't make the mistake of designing your company to be dependent on you. So from day one, if you're in the process of starting a business, make sure that that business is designed to work without you, okay? And you got to have that firm foundation. I deal with a lot of companies all over the U.S. After they've started their business. They've been in the business now for about 15 years, and they built the company to be dependent upon them. And what I say is design your company as if you were designing a dress, okay? I never designed a dress, but I like this analogy. Imagine designing a dress if it was on you. It'd be kind of hard to see how it looks, see how it fits, and tuck it in here and broaden it there and all that. But I want you to think about your business as a mannequin. It's something that you can walk around and look at, and you design your business on the mannequin, not on yourself. How many of you feel like sometimes your business is on you way too many times, right? And so the truth of the matter is your business can be designed objectively and put the dress on the mannequin instead of on yourself. Now, Ray Kroc is the inventor or the guy behind McDonald's. He never had an office in his first McDonald's store, and he did something so incredibly smart that I think every one of us should do. He went a half mile down the road, bought an office with a window view of his very first McDonald's, and he sat out there and he looked at that store a half mile down the road, and this is what he said: "This is my prototype. This is my mannequin." Okay? So you got to have that foundation of knowing in your head that this business is going to run without you one day, and you have to design it that way. Here's something that hit me right between the eyes when I first heard it. Your business is perfectly designed for the results that you're achieving. Now, when I was told that, I didn't like the guy that told me. It was Michael Gerber with the E-Myth. Your business is perfectly designed for the results that you're achieving. So I said, the problems that I'm having in my business is because it's designed to produce that way. Absolutely. Your business is perfectly designed for the results that you're achieving. So you got to have that foundation. Point number 2, key number 2, is set target dates. Before you start to look at potential successors, people that are, because the number one deal for an entrepreneur is to replace themselves in the process. You need to replace yourself. It's important to have a commitment to a target date. That's by so-and-so date, my company will be independent of me. That's really key. You got to set the goals. Point number 3 is you need to identify the key roles within your company. I'm working with a company right now that have about 30 employees. They're doing about 12 million up in Indiana. And they're just now starting to say, okay, we need to have divisions, we need to have managers, we need to have, and that's what I'm getting to help them with, is saying, who's your key person in the powder coating department? And they're really starting to identify. And then the owner, the reason I'm coaching him is because he wanted to have free time. Imagine that. A business owner wanting free time. That's why we start our own businesses, so we can have that independence, that we can, go on those lavish vacations. Yeah, right, it just doesn't happen. But the reason is because we didn't identify the key roles and the people that will play a part in the company. So right now we're in the process of setting up 15 managers, because he has lots of divisions, and instead of him managing the whole thing, he's only going to manage 15 people. So his workload is already being lowered just by managing those 15 people and clearly communicating those requirements that the 15 people need. Point number 4 in the 9 keys of systematizing your business is to define the competencies required for these roles. What is it that you need to have in order to, what qualities do the key people in your organization need to have in order to carry out these roles? Do they need to have people skills? Are they dealing with people? Are they dealing with a machine? What kind of knowledge do they need to have? What kind of training? And figure out what the core competency is for those roles. Point number 5, I'm going to go through this quick because I want to get our speaker as much time as we can today. Point number 5 is plan for the future. Keep dreaming. Okay, we talked about that last Tuesday, but we got to keep dreaming. Plan for the future. Know what's coming in your business. When sourcing talent or looking for a successor, it's a good idea to look to the future. Don't just think about where your company is at right now. Think about where you want it to be in 2 years, in 5 years, and in 10 years. How many of you have a 2-year plan for your business right now? Good. How many of you have a 5-year plan for your business right now and a 10-year plan? Okay? Some of you are saying that's it after 5 years. But it's so important to have a plan, to know what it's going to happen. I have a roadmap of my life from start to the pearly gates. And I can tell you that as I wrote it out, I drew a road through life, and I started drawing pictures like I want an airplane by this time, I want to have a kid by this time, I want this. I can tell you I'm about 5 years. Each section of the road is 5 years. I'm 5 years ahead of where I was back when I did it about 3 years ago. So it's important. You can design your future. Now, you're not in control of everything that happens, but you can plan for your future, and that's what I want to encourage you to do today. Key number 6 is prepare your team. Again, that's speaking into the lives of your team and caring about your team. Here's something that I learned really early in my business career. And I forget who told me, but he told me, he says, Dave, you don't build your business. You build your people, and your people build your business. And I've never forgotten that fact, that and it's very cliche-ish to say, you've heard it before, but people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care about them. And I can just tell you that when you start investing into your team, into your people, they're going to start coming alive for you. Believe it or not, your employees, your team members really, truly want to please you. What I find a lot in business owners is to be unclear is to be unkind. And I find a lot of business owners are so unclear with what they want from the business. What is the expectations? What is all of that? So you have to prepare your team. Number 7 is to train your successor. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you should be constantly looking to replace yourself. And replace yourself means to train other people in what you do and to help them become successful at doing what you do. Point number 8 is to empower your successor. Start giving responsibility. Start letting them lead. See, I believe in leadership. Leadership is not just the business owner telling other people what to do, but it's telling your team how to tell other people what to do, how to lead other people. One of my favorite clients is in South Georgia, and when he called me about 3 years ago, he told me, he says, "Dave, I hate my company. I've had it for 10 years. I have 3 employees. I don't like them. They don't like me." And this is what he said. He said, "I am that close to shutting down a 10-year business." For 10 years, he was capped at the ceiling of $250,000. Had a family of 3 at the time and was supporting 3 employees. $250,000 a year with that kind of dependency, he was struggling. I could see why he wanted to quit. He said, "Can you help me?" And I said, "I don't know. Are you willing to do what it takes?" He says, "I don't know what it takes." And I said, "Well, that's a good start." So we started talking once a week, and we camped out. I coach on 5 pillars: marketing, sales, operations, administration, and leadership. And I saw right away that his problem in his business was not marketing. He had all the work that he could handle. His problem was not sales. It wasn't operations. He knew how to do the work that he did, but the problem was simply leadership. He was not a leader, and he was not developing leaders. Now, let me tell you where he is today, and he's still my client. I talk to him every week. Today, those 3 employees are now his 3 foremen in one of his business. He has in that one company, he has 18 people that those 3 guys are leading, and he busted through the $1.5 million mark in 3 years just by developing himself as a leader and developing his guys to be a leader as well. He since started another company that's a sister program or sister company that provides the products that his original company uses every day. He's the manufacturer for his own company. That company has 5 employees, and he's doing over $1 million a year, and it's all because of leadership and empowering his people. And he's just getting ready to take it to the whole next level, and he's going to be at $10 million in 5 years. That's his plan. So you have to empower your people. Point number 9, and is really, really important no matter in what kind of business you are. Key number 9 is to implement measurables. How many of you know that what you measure grows? How many of you have ever heard that? So you have to measure what you want to grow. It's so important. So you have to put things in place in your business and hold people accountable. One of the things that we do really well in our coaching program is to hold people accountable to what their goals are. How many of you have accountability partners in your life right now? I have about 8 people that I can call on. Part of it is with my weight, part of it is with my health, my spiritual life, my physical life, my financial. I have people that call me and say, "Hey, how's it going?" And you always say, "Oh, it's going good." No, really, how's it going? That's the kind of person that you want. You don't want somebody just to sugarcoat everything and say, "Okay, well, we'll talk to you next week." You want them to get in with you and really, really step it up. So you have to implement measurables. There's a guy in Indonesia that has 28 companies. They're all doing over 12 million. All 28 of them are doing over 12 million, and he spends a half a day running those companies. And he's set measurables, and he has this system. It's the most amazing system. If you want to learn about it, I can talk to you afterwards. But it can be done to replace yourself in your company and find the freedom and profitability. Believe it or not, as you grow and as you replace yourself, you will become more profitable. because more ideas into your company, more thought into your company, more strategic thinking will get you to a more profitable point. Okay, so those were the 9 keys to finding to helping your company succeed without you. And I think that's a dream of every entrepreneur, is to have a company that works like a well-oiled machine without you being there oiling it and making it happen.